Okay, good morning. Let's start. We're up to new siman, Kuf Samach Tes. So din shamash hasu'uda, the din of a waiter, someone who is serving at the meal. Says the Mechaba, Sif Aleph, Kol Dova shemevi'in lifnei ha'odom, any course, any food that is being brought to serve at a meal, sheyesh lo reach, that has got a nice smell, v'ha'odom toyev lo, and the waiter, he sort of takes a fancy at it. You got to give the shamash some of the food. It's torture otherwise. Sometimes you see it, imagine you got a chasna and the guy is serving people all delicious food. For the waiter to serve this food and not to eat of it, it's unfair to him. So therefore, tzorich litin mimenu l'shamash miyad. U'midas chasidus hu litin miloi miyad mikol min v'min. You should actually give him of every type of food. So let's say the Mishnah Berurah, Sif Cotton Aleph, sheyesh le reach, oikiu, it's got some sort of smell or steam or something, dahainu tam chomos, like a pungent smell. Tzorich litain, Sif Cotton Base, the dover sheyesh le reach, mazik la'adam k'she'echlim befonov, v'hu toev lo, ve'ein nois nemiyad. If it's got a smell and everyone's eating it, and he's not eating it, this could damage him. But if it hasn't got a smell at all, he can eat beforehand. You can eat first, and then you give the shamash afterwards. You sometimes see that in a restaurant or something, at the end when it's closed, the waiters and the staff are sitting down eating. So, according to this, if it's got a nice smell, you should give them beforehand. It's not fair to make them work and serve the whole evening. Because it comes in Kufalef Sif Gimel. The shamash miyad, you give them straight away. Or for dova muad sagi, you have to give them a lot, just a taste of it, a small amount. The bezeh nami misyashiv daita, that will settle their mind. For kosva achreinim, and the achreinim write, afilim hisnim masharasa b'shas chirasa lifter atzma mizeh. Even if he stipulates in the contract, listen, you'll get to eat at the end. I'm not giving you at the beginning. Lo mahani hatanai, that tanai won't work. With dafka b'shamash omer the mashamash ve'eno eichel moem biyachad. That's dafka if he's not sitting at the meal with them, but he's just literally serving. Avalim gam hu meisav al shulchan imoim. But if he's also got a plate at the table and he's eating, then that's not a problem. No tzorich la'agdumi. You don't have to give him first because he'll get his food soon. Isva gemara demisha reach machal v'misav. Someone who smells the food and he desires it. Any spittle that accumulates in his mouth, his gastric juices start flowing and he starts building up a bit of some rake, some spit. He shouldn't swallow it. He should spit it out rather than swallow it. And you give this waiter mikol min v'min. That's a midas chasidus, the Mechaba said, to give him from everything, i.e., even the things which haven't got a reach, a nice smell and aroma. Even if it hasn't got a strong smell, he still will be affected by it. Okay, back to the Mechaba. When you give him, and he's pouring the drinks, and don't give him the food then, or in the hand of the balabais, only after the meal. And don't give him a piece of bread unless you know that he's washed until it's a dime. Okay, let's see. What does that mean? It's going on. One of the guests shouldn't give the shamash to drink when he's got the case in his hand. Biyad hashamash. Why? Because he's busy taking the food from the guest or whoever. He'll spill things. He can't multitask. He can't take the food and pour it at the same time. No, it means it's going on the reach, the guest. When the guest has got his kos in his hand, he shouldn't give to the shamas. Because maybe the balabayas will look at the guest with a sort of an ayin ra, saying, hey, why are you giving my waiter food? Maybe there won't be enough food to go around to all the guests. Or miratat, and then the guests will get scared. Sorry, the shamash will get scared. The guest will get scared and he'll spill and there'll be an upset in the meal. Okay. Biad balabais, like we said above. The shemi yak with balabais, like we said, maybe the balabais will get angry and he'll give him like a sort of at the eyes. And he'll stare at him. There'll be a kilkel in the suda. Even the balabais himself shouldn't give the shamas when the shamash is pouring. Gam kein mitam hanal, for the same reason. Because he's pouring and he's taking the food, so even the balabai shouldn't give him, because he can't, like I said before, he can't multitask and he'll spill it and he'll disturb the suda. Litzen b'chi hai gavna, Msiv kotzen ches, pirush t'shabne asuda yechoyin no say zelazeh, kashakos biad balabais. Guests can serve each other when the balabais has got the kos in his hand. Shemachashu zimano som ein makbid b'meshay noistin zelazeh. So l'moshel, you got a tray of food at the table. The archim can give each other, even though it's not my food. But that's because the balabais is inviting them. He wants the food to be eaten, so you can pass around. V'lo chashin lekilkola. We're not worried about upset. However, the inference, of course, is the la'acher shlezimin osalitin. You're an Orach, you can't start giving it to other people who weren't invited. This dispensation is only given to those who were invited by the balabais. And then we said at the end, you can only give the shamash to eat if he's washed his hands, a piece of bread. Pirish lahashamash, you can't give the shamash. He's so busy serving that he wouldn't have washed into this dime, and as we'll see in the next sif, that could be a problem. But for somebody else, we're not worried. Unless you know, you've seen that he's eating without netilas yadayim. If you're giving him a Torah stock, then it can be lenient. Like we're going to see in the next sif. Let's just do this quickly. It says sif base. Lo yitin. Now this is a very nogea shaila. Lo yitin lechol el misha der b'shivarich. You can't give bread to someone who you know has not washed netilas yadayim. Or sorry, he's going to make the brachas. But if it's tzedakah, then don't worry about it. If you're worried, he's not going to make a bracha on the piece of cake that you give him. Don't worry about it if it's Torah tzedakah. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Yud, Lo yitzen lechol nilmad mesif hakodim. This is learned from what we said above. What? Achlefi svar kamaisa the davka la shamash mishum tirda. You can't give the shamash because of tirda. Im kein ein mekar din zeh. Im lo shiadeh bo shelo yivarich. Unless you know that he's not going to make a bracha. Shebezeh kula alma moeded ein noistin lei. But if it's given to him b'terah tzedakah, then that would be okay. Lo mafki in the mitzvah tzedakah b'shvil chashash shem lo yivarich. We're not going to sort of take away the mitzvah tzedakah out of a concern maybe he won't make a bracha. V'afagav degabe shamash b'sif hakodim chashin. And even though for the shamash b'choshesh hasam hanasina love the terah tzedakah, that wasn't the terah tzedakah. Shenosin lebavur shimshah, because you're doing it because he's serving, etc., not because of tzedakah. Achim yodeh b'vadesh lo yivarich. But if you know the shamash is not going to make a bracha, then also litzin le'af b'terah tzedakah. Even b'terah tzedakah, you can't give it to him or whoever. V'davkim b'teich risha also. He's doing it lahachis, out of his wickedness. But in b'teich onsei she'eni al chavarich, then maybe different. Nifka mitzvah tzedakah b'shvil zeh. Then he doesn't take away the mitzvah tzedakah. Now the big question is, what about giving someone who's not frum or something like that, a business partner, a cleaner, someone who comes to deliver, fix the oven or something? What about giving them a drink if they're, in Eretz Yisrael, a chilani worker? It's very motzui. So if you take a look in the middle of footnote number 4, I'll read out the pertinent points in the paragraph beginning with legabe. Legabe adam she'ena shema mitzvahs. Someone who's not shema Torah mitzvahs, who's not going to make a bracha, can you give him a drink or a food or things like that? This is footnote 4. I'm in the middle of that left-hand column. It's going to cause a chilul Hashem. He's going to say, this is how from Yidden behave. It's a hot day, he's not going to give me a cold drink. Says Rabbi Shlomo Zalman, it's mutzah, you should give him eat and drink and whatever, don't worry about it. That he shouldn't cause animosity towards other Jewish people. Another svara is that if you don't give him to eat, then maybe he'll go to a non-kosher restaurant or something to eat, and therefore better you give him to eat. Good. And then just one more thing. A person's got a business partner who is not religious, and you need to sometimes give him, out of manners, out of politeness, to give him some food or some drink. Moshe writes, and you say to him the first time, come, let's wash together. You wash your hands, you make a bracha, I'll show you how to do it. And then once you've taught him these are the rules, if on subsequent occasions he chooses not to, that's not your problem. But at least once you show him what to do. Many times, sometimes we have guests, who are not Shomer Torah mitzvahs, they're coming through Asamech or whatever. And a good eitz is, you just announce at the table, we're coming to wash, and then you tell your daughter, you just or yourself, you just wash in a very demonstrative way. This is how or you teach a younger, if you've got a young child, you show them, and derech agav, then they're going to see what to do, and they often just don't know, they're ignorant, and that way you're educating them as how to do it. Okay.